everybody, my name is Kat, aka Thepowerofdie, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. I'm still playing Pokemon LeafGreen, by the way. I did not stop that, I'm not abandoning it, don't worry about that. I just wanted to do another Let's Play, a longer one, but not like too long. I'm not gonna make Let's Plays that's over like 3 hours. I don't think my capture card can handle the heat. And it's very hot right now, even though I'm cooler than when I tested all of this yesterday. Anyways, I'm going to play the Ace Attorney Chronicles, specifically the first game, which I'll show in a moment here. This is my favorite Ace Attorney game of all time. It's just, the story and the characters are so good compared to the other Ace Attorney games, and I also really like Trials and Tribulations and Ace Attorney Investigations too. But this is by far my favorite. And I really wanted to do a Let's Play of it. Audio's good. I'm playing to press. Oh, I should have this in full screen. I really hope OBS doesn't lag. Anyways, I played this game at least twice. The first and the second game, actually. See, this is my completed file. This is the one I'm playing for fun right now. I'm replaying the second game. This is what I tested earlier. And I'm going to select Adventure. The Great Ace Attorney Adventures is the first game in Duology, and this is its direct sequel. But I'm going to play the Great Ace Attorney Adventures first. And then after I finish that, I will do a Let's Play of the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. Right after. These games are very long, which is probably my only critique. The cases are very long. Like even the first trial in the Great Ace Attorney Adventures is very long. Probably the longest in the series, but don't quote me on that though. Anyways, enough yapping, let's do a new game.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide. But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Episode 1, The Adventure of the Great Departure. We're finally in this. I played this twice already, but I don't care. I'll play it again. And I really wanted to play it for YouTube, and that's what I'm doing right now. Thankfully, I don't feel hot right now. Sorry. If I complain about the heat, it's just very hot. I'm sorry. It's the summer in where I live. So, as of now, well, this is not, of course, it's not modern day. This takes place in the early 1900s, I believe. I don't remember the exact year, but around the 1900s. Not like before 1910s maybe. But this is after the beginning of the 20th century. This is basically the first. Chronologically, this is the first in the franchise. Even though it clearly isn't this game wasn't released first. It was the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. But this game, as well as its direct sequel, is the first oh, sorry, I'm starting again, of course. Chronologically. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. We're in the defendant's antechamber, which is where defense attorneys and their clients meet up to discuss things. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer! Sorry. Yeah, of course. In typical Ace Attorney style, the main character is getting accused of a murder. There are other crimes that take place in Ace Attorney, but murder is the primary crime, and sometimes the only crimes committed. Anyways, my name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. By the way, if I'm mispronouncing his name, I'm so sorry. I'm not doing it deliberately. It's that I can barely speak. I speak like I have cotton in my mouth, and I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name. So I'm gonna call him Ryunosuke or Naruhodo, which is easier for me. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to mispronounce things deliberately. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue before I cut it off for you. Technicalities. Look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. By the way, I'm not gonna bother acting. As you can tell, I can barely talk. So if I can barely talk, how can I act properly? Oh, wait, let me check something really quickly. Sorry, just need to check something on my phone very quickly. Okay, let me continue on. What are you excuse me. What are you apologizing for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Cosmo, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Ha 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 ha. There you go again, apologizing. Yeah, and by the way, the script is using British English for the English version of this game. So yeah, and it's very important to the story, obviously. If you played this game, if you played the duology already. But yeah, you're gonna see a lot of British spelling, British English spelling at least. That doesn't bother me. Of course, I don't care. Even though I'm American, I don't care about that. I'm just saying. Just like always. Ah. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I could never murder someone! Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. Oh, excuse me, let me try that again. I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Sogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of a lawyer is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago, but I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma, truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. I hope OBS doesn't lag here, because I tested this when I had the time, and it started lagging around here. But I hope it does not like that this time. Anyways, congratulations, Kazuma! It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last! I know! I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Cosmo's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. That's for true. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. No, sorry, that doesn't sound good off. Then come with me. Excuse me. Then come with me. Yeah, then come with me, idiot. Excuse me, sorry, I need to adjust myself there. We'll have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's city of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better get going. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Well, OBS didn't lag here, thankfully, and I hope it stays that way. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Sogi, may I have a word? Oh, the best girl! Not him, of course. I'm not talking about the old man. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now, Sogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes. Thanks, Cosmo. Oh, by the way, I don't think did I say it before? If I didn't, I'll say it again. I'm using my laptop to not stream. I'm not streaming, to record all of this. I only have one laptop. I don't have another laptop that works, at least. I don't have another monitor. I'm not gonna dock. My Switch 2 dock isn't connected to my TV. It's connected to the HDMI capture card, which is then connected to my laptop. The AC adapter is also connected, not to my laptop, but it's connected to an outlet nearby me. So yeah, I'm playing this through OBS. This is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe? Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yumei University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. Yeah. I've heard that name for Cosmo before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Cosmo studying abroad. Asoki has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you have no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that those two words side by side threw me off. I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never be granted again. I just added an extra word, but who cares? What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain... Okay. I know how to read, I promise. Peculiar... I know how to say that, I know what that means. Peculiarities? Close enough. About today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand, once proceedings get underway. But, then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to conviction. Right, so... As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not, do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious... Actually, never seen this word before playing this. Surreptitious? Close enough. Discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Sogi must not be a defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as a defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. Serious time. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over, and what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea what lays ahead, or what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. By the way, I'm not going to play the entire trial in one go. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, the trial that would decide my destiny. Okay, as I said before, I just said it like a few seconds ago, I'm not planning on recording the entire trial in one go. No way, my HDMI capture card cannot handle that. Let me touch it. Well, it's not feeling hot right now, but I also have the fan on. Let me touch the dock to see if it's hot. Nope, it's good. And now, we're in the courtroom. Courtroom number 2. And it's 9 a.m. In Japan, at least. Because this part takes place in Japan. So this is... Well, excuse me, let me try that again. So this is a courtroom. I really like the graphics in this game. And that's considering this was originally a 3DS game. But this, I'm playing the Switch port of this. I got it as soon as it launched in 2021. God, I love this game so much. The Supreme Court of Judicature. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm probably not. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now... You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. Again, I'm not going to act. If I was able to act properly, I'll use a much scratchier voice for Prosecutor Achi, whatever. But I can't act, so put up with my shitty ass voice. As is defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? I should have a more booming voice for the judge at least. This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... Well, here goes. I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Answer I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will defend.
Yes!
He's raising his hand like a schoolboy. I mean, he's a university student. So I guess it's not, like, abnormal. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be what? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Oh, by the way, I'm pressing Y for the history. This is where you can look at all past dialogue. Well, actually not all, just all up to a certain point. So, you know, I was interrupted here where it says, as I'm standing here besides the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense, but Ryunosuke answered yes before this dialogue was fully complete. And so I did advance the text myself. Sometimes it will cut to a scene. So if that happens, I go back to the history. I said this. Professor Mikotoba told me everything, just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off. Oh, you should use a better choice of phrasing, but I'm just being a fool. No, it's not that really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well. Does the accused admit defeat already, renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he is confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind is a complete blank. Same here. Well, I'm not a complete blank, it's just I have a lot of brain fog. And I probably have ADHD, but I don't have the money for a consultation. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Or, as I should say, Well, for mere university students to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the tasks you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state that before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But, wait. Ugh, I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court. Yes, this is a mandatory tutorial about how to use the court record to look at evidence and character profiles. Yeah, just press R. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult. Excuse me. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press R. Yep. I can't press R yet. No, now I can. This is the list of evidence you collected. Now try switching to people instead with R. Yep. You'll find details about the victim here. When you're done, just press B to go back. Going back. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on, let me check the court record. This is my collar pin, which is proof that I'm a student at the university. I always wear it on the collar of my uniform jacket. Yeah, you can see. I think this is this. It kind of looks like the. The logo. The Ace Attorney logo has a similar shape. This is the post-mortem report, which is another word for autopsy report. The victim is John H. Wilson, and he's a British male. He died on November 19th, or the 19th of November, shortly after 2 p.m. And the cause of death was a single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. Yep. We found out the name of the victim from the autopsy report. I know it says post-mortem report, but I'm American. I'm going to say autopsy. Sorry, I'm just checking my phone there for a moment. Let me check the character profiles. Kazuma Sogi, 23, second year at the university. Ryunosuke's best friend, qualified defense lawyer. Professor Mikatoba is 42 years old, medical school professor. He's an authority in forensic medicine and Kazuma's mentor. Taketsuchi Aochi, 51 years old, the prosecutor of the case, who appeared to have little love for the changes the Cultural Reformation has brought about. So he's kind of like a boomer, except this is pre-boomer generation. John H. Wilson, 47, the victim of this case, visiting professor of medicine at the university from the British Empire, and also, as I said, he's the victim of the case. And the judge wants to know the victim's name. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press X to present. Try it now. I'll do it in a moment. I just need to drink some water. I'm very thirsty and I need to hydrate. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's present with X. Select John H. Wilson, who's the victim, and select his profile with the X button.
Yes!
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yumei University 3 years ago. That is true. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations, I should say. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilled on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Excuse me. I have some congestion there. Okay. That passed through? Actually, nope. Okay, now it passed through. Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education? Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. The case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? First try. Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference before me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. My throat is a bit scratchy. If you heard my cough, sorry about that. I also don't have a physical microphone with me on me. I'm using the microphone for my laptop. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. There it is, the victim. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. Sorry, let me adjust myself further. Okay, better. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, defendant Naruhodo. Naruhodo. Good. Well, not good, but better. Yes, sir. Excuse. Of course, I fuck up the most simplest of words. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? That's also in the court record under the postmortem report or autopsy report. State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Again, just showing you how to present evidence.
Yes!
Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic. He's mispronouncing it, not me. I know it's hemorrhagic or something like that. Death due to gunshot trauma. Let me try that again. According to excuse me, let me try that one more time. According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, imbecile. That's the postmortem report. I take it? Oh. Oh god, my controller disconnected. Okay, it connected. Sorry, yes, that's right. The, postmortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Sorry, I need to change the transparency of the text box. I think this is better. Maybe? Yes. You can clearly because sometimes like the red text, the red or orange text, highlighted text blends in with the background, and that's not good. It's not good visibility wise. Anyways, you can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. The photograph was accepted. Sorry, I had to drink water. My throat feels very dry. So that's a photographic print. Wow, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to drawing. The detail's incredible. Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes. Clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me, but that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course! When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Sogi must not be a defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Ugh, have the hot sweats. If only you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Hey, this headband's cool. I love it. The courtroom cannot be that windy, so his headband's just going wild for no reason. Let me check something first. What am I doing? No, not this. I'll probably cut around here. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just doing something. Okay, I'm just checking something, sorry. It's something related to this game. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Oh, so that made me more to cough. And his mouth is bleeding. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, and he wipes it off with a towel. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. Actually, it should. That he's bleeding internally is from somewhere, or maybe it's something worse, but I don't think that's ever addressed. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago. Yes, understood, Hosonaga-san. You will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. Yes, sir. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the expiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, Perspiring maybe, just like me. But aspiring? It was just 2 p.m. That voice crack was awful. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners on that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused, a university student.
Yes!
Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness report of what he saw, you amateur. What? The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized and defended. Defended Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke, you'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter, standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in the court today? Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman. I wrote this game. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Should I interject? The judge said I would be penalized. But no, let me wait and see. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I never have got into UMA University otherwise. I don't think there's a wrong answer for that choice. But you can't just, you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know? If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say,
yes!
Just a moment, please. Let me drink more water. I'm going to keep the cap on. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. My throat is still dry. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, dear me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? That is true. I'm defending myself without a law degree or badge. But I'm sure of what let me try it again. But I'm sure of what I saw. Kusunaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it! Ahem. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. And he made a rough drawing of the restaurant. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card, but it was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone, which is marked by the red X. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. He hesitated. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. And his business card has been added to the court record. Let's check it. Let's check after this. So, the court has now heard a precis of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. I should check the court record right now and look at that business card. Actually, let me check the photograph first. There's a magnifying glass here where we can look at things more closely, but I don't find this feature to be that helpful, to be honest. Now let's check the business card. Oh, no, we can't examine it right now. We don't have the option to examine it. No, that's fine. We'll examine it later. Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this witness as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these not first time this time around. Peculiarities. Close enough. You said it. Let me say that again. You said it. Professor Mikotoba said it. And so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Elchi, please proceed with the proceedings. Okay, I'm just touching my HDMI capture card. I'll just call it capture card from now on. That's easier on my tongue. It's not that hot, to be honest. But again, I have my fan on. Well, You were warned. The young can be so reckless. I fucked that up. Well, you were warned. Your young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. That was a corny ass line. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Iyasa Nosa, reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, which is the Japanese name for Japan, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the second and conduct my trade from Rasute, humble premises in the second district, Kyorio Korikuda, at your service. That's the old man's name. An antique dealer and soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take in tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. Well, I understand it. It's just how he talks is so annoying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. That sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. But his mustache is insane, by the way. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir. This man as impossible to understand as the other. He's easy to understand, he just talks in a very annoying way. But I'm also sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. And now they're going to officially tell their witness accounts. Sorry, I had to burp there. Silent burp, but I still had to burp. I was ingesting a recollection beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At the precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. But basically what he means that he lost something and he's trying to find it. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired a weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes. All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it, so I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, and that's what happened. That's why he's being accused. That's why Ryunosuke is being accused of murder. Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witness testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now! As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this... excuse me, I have something to say. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands his right to a cross-examination. Another staple in the Ace Attorney franchise. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki? Yeah, Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. I'm not well versed in the Japanese legal system, but I'm sure maybe the defendants can defend themselves instead of needing an attorney. I assume so. In the U.S., you're allowed to defend yourself without. You don't need an attorney. You don't even need a law degree. You have the right to defend yourself in court. Maybe it's the same in Japan. I'm not sure. Cosmo is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now, let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. I love how he bangs his desk because he is not confident. Alright then, it's all or nothing. Now we're in the cross-examination. Oh my god, OBS is lagging here. God damn it. Let me stop recording here. Okay, is everything good? I'm not sure. Let's check. Maybe? Hopefully? I'll do this for now. I have my screen isn't on OBS isn't full screen anymore. Maybe that'll help with the latency. Hopefully there's no delay this time. I checked my graphics card and it's fine. So I don't know why there's lag on OBS. I'm not gonna repeat all the green text. That's just the witness testimony. Anyways, what I wanted to do, I wanted to press every single statement, which you can do with the L button. With the L button. I love doing this. I just like reading.
Yes!
Just let me go full screen again. How do I do that? Yeah, here. Excuse me. Why? Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new interrogation technique? I hadn't actually thought of why I wanted to ask me 24/7. Just ask about anything that catches your attention. Anything that bothers you. Alright then. This beefsteak you mentioned. What kind of food is that? Shun! Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal, vigorously cooked on a cast iron grill and served piping hot. Oh, if the food could receive medals of honor, beefsteak would be almost as highly decorated as a cutlet. Right, I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Attention! Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal tossed in breadcrumbs and deep-fried in cooking oil. Accept your guilty verdict, atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it. Yes, sir, I will, sir. On the double, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case? Oops, sorry. I'll do my best. So, next question. Is it just me, or do you keep hearing a sort of wah crying noise? Negative! Well, at least we've learned that he's a big beef lover. Affirmative. It's not easy knowing what questions to ask. Okay, there's no lag for now. Myself, I keep saying I'm not going to repeat the witness testimonies again. I'm doing it right now. No, let's just press this.
Yes!
Also. I have no idea what you're talking about. A koban, boy. A koban? Mean an old Edo coin of exceptional value from the Hoei period entered my possession. I took myself to the restaurant the following day, with said items secreted in my bosom pocket, in the hope of an affluent cognizant, I have never seen that word before prior to this, appraised of its indisputable value being present. As you are hoping to sell your koban, let me say that again. Oh, so you're hoping to sell your koban coin to Sir Genosa, whom you met at the restaurant. Yes, it's quite clear where you're going with this, boy. You were about to assert that a penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious koban. Isn't that so? Well, you little upstart cadet. You want to add disrespecting a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant how do I pronounce that? Subordination? Subordination, yeah. Blatant subordination! No, I didn't say anything! Although penniless might just be the word I was looking for. In any case, the hour was already advanced beyond that of the midday luncheon. There remained precious few present with whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. The gentleman beside me, who was grappling with his braised veal at the time, was my sole prospect. I see. Let me just press this.
Yes!
So, you're saying that you actually saw me at that time? Affirmative! I saw you, laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian. But that's impossible! I only... Allow me to confirm just one point, please. What's that, Private? Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table. And so what if it was? Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. R. Let me say it again. R! And double R! My sixth sense. Sorry? My sixth sense of danger. I picked up the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind. Which means, a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet. Surely that's not really possible, is it? Do you think I've got where I am today in the army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son? Sorry, I was hydrating there. Well, it would seem that this soldier is absolutely convinced that he saw you do the deed. This is not good. The black uniform varsity cadet. I'm doing it again. God damn it. Let me just press all the statements. So this black uniform university cadet, you're saying that was... Arg! I had just about enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see around here in black uniform, Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you, you little weasel. You unloaded a firearm on that man. From behind his back, and you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon? You disgust me. I love his thinking face. What is it, Ryunosuke? I'm not quite sure. It's something that the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you gathered in the court record. And if you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court, thrust it in the witness's face, and make him choke on it. Okay, chill out there, man. Press this.
Yes!
Which I think is the last statement. On your hands and knees. Could you explain that, please? That's right. Spurning the arthritis, I was in order to retrieve the lost piece. What lost piece are you referring to? The Koban, of course. The exquisite Buei-era Koban coin. I had just been showing the rare treasure to the military man as he masticated his meal. Well, he was eating meat, so I'm not wrong there. After averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished? Hence, I began to acquaint myself with the intricacies of the floor in order to locate it, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Not under then, though it was no concern of mine. I was frantically scouring the floor of the aforementioned lost treasure. So, in fact, you didn't actually witness the precise moment when the incident occurred. Indeed, myself, I did not. So why are you on the witness stand then if you didn't see anything? I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Listen, Ryunosuke, we know that there are lies lurking in these statements. It's time to expose them. I understand that. The question is, how? Like I said before, the key to this is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present evidence while a witness is giving testimony by pressing R. Go through each witness statement and the details about each piece of evidence and compare all the facts. Somewhere in there, you'll find something that doesn't add up. In other words, an inconsistency. I just butchered it again. An inconsistency. Okay, no! Is it good now? Okay, I had to change my, what's it called? My encoding, my output. My CPU is going wild, but I don't see any lag this time. So maybe it's good? Let's just continue. When you find a statement and a piece of evidence that seems to contradict each other, present your evidence with X and press the witness. Present your evidence and rip the witness apart. Just be careful, because if you assert a contradiction that has no basis, you'll be given a penalty. If you're dealt too many penalties, the defense case will fall apart and you'll receive a guilty verdict, also known as game over. So that's it. Peruse the evidence in the court record and find an inconsistency with the witness's statement. Alright, I'll give it a try. Let me go full screen here. Let me see. Yep, the display. Yeah, this is good. So keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner. I wasn't. Why am I'm trying. I said so many times I'm not gonna reread the witness testimonies, and I'm keep doing it anyways. Let's find the contradicting statement here. It's not this one. It's this one. He said that I fired a gun at Dr. Wilson from behind, but that's not true. Because not only did I not fire a gun, he didn't get shot from the back. Let's see, maybe is this it? No. Is it? You see, let's see. No exit wound. No, it doesn't say here, but it shows here because he got shot in the chest and the bullet didn't exit his body. The bullet is still in his body. So I say let's present this piece of evidence.
Yes!
What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Trusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us about what we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. Oh my god, I relate to this so much. Because in my head, my thoughts are all clear. Well, not my thoughts aren't all clear, but my words, what I want to say are clear, but when it comes out of my mouth, it's all over the place. It's jumbled. It comes off like I can't speak at all. It also comes off like I can't. I have like I have cotton in my mouth. But I don't. I just have a shitty mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. Arg, this is so frustrating. Tell me about it, man. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Cosma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Iyasanosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that just can't be. Why not, cadet? Because... I need help, man. Help me out. Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah! Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? My capture card is still fine. It's a little hot, but it's not like burning hot. Let me touch my dock. Can't find if I can find it. It's fine too. Oh, well, What the? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. I'm gonna be honest, I did not pay attention to that part here. I was looking at my capture card and dock. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, oh, look at the little baby. My eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious black caraval steak. Sir, what? The last testimony the court had heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Yasanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Got him! Yeah! I'm sorry for that screeching noise. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. He said the name of the game! Oh my god! But I definitely saw him. You know, I was going to end this later, but I think I'll end the recording for today. As you can tell, multiple times I'm recording in real time, but how do I say? My OBS software was lagging, so I had to change the output. And now it's working well, even though my CPU is going wild. So let me just save here. And I want to say thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't plan on uploading Let's Play the Great Ace Attorney Adventures as frequently as Pokemon LeafGreen. I'm still gonna play Pokemon LeafGreen, don't worry, I'm not gonna abandon it. Anyways, thank you very much, and goodbye.